Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Today we're working on a seed stitch dishcloth. Now the seed stitch, you can work with an odd number or an even number of stitches, so I'll give you both of those. This pattern includes a 6-inch, 8-inch, and 10-inch version. You'll need 50, 60, or 70 yards of number 4 medium worsted weight yarn, preferably cotton or a cotton blend, and 4.5 size 7 knitting needles. Okay, so first you'll want to cast on, and you can use any cast on you're familiar with for this. Longtail is a great one for these little projects. I'll link up some cast ons for you in the description if you need to learn how to do that. For a 6-inch dishcloth and an odd number of stitches, you'll cast on 27, 8-inch, 37, 10-inch, 45. Here I cast on an even number. For 6 inches, cast on 26, 8, 36, and 10-inch 46. Okay, regardless of whether you cast on an even or odd number, row 1 is the same. We'll knit the first stitch, purl the second stitch, and then alternate that across. Knit 1, purl the next. If you have an even number of stitches, you will end with a purl. If you have an odd number, you will end with a knit. If you cast on an odd number of stitches, then you're just going to repeat this one row for the next row and for every row until you reach your desired length. If you cast on an even number of stitches, I'm going to show you now row 2. We'll turn our work and you'll see our first stitch is a knit that we're looking at. So row 2, for even stitch counts, purl the first stitch, and then we're looking at a purl, so we're going to knit the second. And then that's our repeat across. Purl 1, knit 1. And whether you cast on an even or an odd number, for seed stitch, you are always knitting the purls and purling the knits. So if you're looking at a knit, you're going to purl. If you're looking at a purl, you're going to knit it. Okay, so if you have an even number of stitches, then you're going to repeat these 2 rows, row 1 and row 2, just alternating if you start with a knit or a purl for the length of your project. Okay, now once your length is reached, it's time to bind off. You can use a standard bind off where you just knit 2 stitches and then pull one over the other and keep doing that across. But the seed stitch looks really great when you do the bind off in pattern. So I'm going to show you quickly how to do that. And with seed stitch here, I have a purl stitch to start, so then my next stitch would be a knit, so I'll knit 1. And then my next stitch is a knit, so I would purl in pattern. If I were continuing the pattern is what that means, so I'm going to purl. And then I'll bind off by inserting my left needle into the first stitch and pulling it over the second one. Here I pull that up a little loosely so I'm not binding off too tight. Then I continue. I have a purl, so I knit, and then I bind off. I have a knit, so I purl, and then I bind off. And I just continue like that across the row, alternating between knits and purls just like we did for knitting all the rows. Okay, when we get to our last stitch, we just bind off as normal. I'm going to hold that down. And then you're going to pull the long loop through and cut your yarn. I am at the end of my skein there, so. And you have your beautiful seed stitch dishcloth. Doesn't even need a border, it lies nice and flat with a really neat edge.